Want to know how much money I make posting videos about cruising? Forget those people who say they make tens of thousands of dollars a month on YouTube. I'm going to give you the real numbers. Hello my friends, this is a very different video from what I usually make as a cruise YouTuber, but I've gotten so many lovely comments from people saying that they want to do what I do. And I think there's a lot of misconception about how much money you can actually make on YouTube, because the only ones who seem to post about it are the ones who are wildly successful. And then there's little old me. And just as I do with my brutally honest cruise videos, I feel this need to set the record straight and show you what smaller channels make. If you're one of my current subscribers, first off, thank you so much for subscribing. But also, please let me know in the comments below if you just don't want me to make this type of video anymore. I don't plan on doing it often, but I just thought it might be helpful to those of you who have thought of making a channel yourself. And for that matter, if you are starting out as a YouTuber, feel free to post your channel in the comments below, because it might help you get more views. And again, let me reiterate, this is not my usual topic, so if you're just here for the cruise news, please know that next week I'll be right back to normal over here. So let's start getting into the real numbers. The views, the subs, the spikes in viewership, the way I plummeted into near oblivion and then was lifted back up to the heights I never dreamed possible. Well, that's being a little overly dramatic. And yes, this past year on YouTube has felt a little like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. I also should tell you that I'm just doing this for fun, so when you see these numbers, don't feel the need to start a GoFundMe. To be completely honest, I never even thought I'd get monetized, which takes 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 public watch hours in the past 12 months, or 10 million public shorts views to do. 10 million! Yikes! I'm just a retiree who is looking for a hobby, and cruising is among my favorite things to do. So that's kind of how this channel started. My first videos barely got views, which was pretty much what I expected. But since I was just doing this for fun, I genuinely didn't care that I was on track to become monetized in my late 90s. Then I posted a very simple video about what it really might cost to retire on a cruise ship, because I kept seeing all these social media influencers saying that it's dirt cheap to do that, and, well, I just wanted to show people some real numbers as to what it really might cost them. My first video about this topic got a good number of views, as you can see here, but it was my second video on the topic that really took off. And I have no idea why. It was as though the YouTube algorithm gods just decided to smile on me. And I have some record of how quickly it took off, because my husband and I were texting back and forth about it and sharing the screenshots you see here. And I just have to call attention to my comments in this one because, yeah, napping pretty much sums up life after 50, doesn't it? And just a few days in, I had this many views. Wow! And had even enough subscribers to become monetized. But what's curious is that even though I followed up with similarly themed videos, those ones never were as popular. And this is very important for all of you to hear, because I don't want anyone getting one successful video and then assuming that every one of their videos is going to do as well as that one did. In fact, here's a screenshot I took of some of the ones that followed so that you can see just how miserably most of my videos do when compared to that first one. So it was really that one video that got me monetized so quickly. And I continued posting videos on a weekly basis because that's what all the big YouTubers say to do. But I immediately started realizing that, unlike what everyone told me online, my posting weekly videos just really didn't do too much to build my channel. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for going against what absolutely everyone on YouTube says. But the numbers don't lie, at least in my case. In fact, it got so tiresome putting these videos out there when the only video that anyone ever seemed to watch was that one single video, that I let my channel die out for a while. So let's start talking money, and please don't cry. Hold out till the end, because you'll see a glimmer of hope. In fact, let's roll that lovely cruise footage in the background to make this a little less depressing. Keep in mind that this is money from the ads that YouTube runs during videos, and that is through Google AdSense. So if I use YouTube and Google AdSense kind of interchangeably, that's why. My first payment from YouTube was $217.05, and that was from that initial spike. Well, kind of from that spike. You see, when that really big spike happened, I actually wasn't monetized yet, because even after you get the subscribers and the views, you still have to go through some paperwork. So I probably would have made more if one of my later videos was as successful. Google AdSense only pays you after you have earned $100. So if your earnings aren't impressive, then you won't get paid monthly. In fact, despite that wonderful spike, it was more than 2 months before I got paid again, and this time it was $110.85. So you can kind of see why my interest in YouTube dropped a bit. That and the carpal tunnel syndrome I seem to have developed from all this video editing. I didn't get a third payment until 3 months after that, and that payment was $125.43. So yeah, not really getting rich off of this. But then brace yourself, because something crazy happened, and it flies in the face of all of those famous YouTubers who say you have to post every week for YouTube to share your videos more. During this period when I was barely posting, I suddenly got a new uptick in views on, you guessed it, that same second video that I did talking about retiring on a cruise ship. Again, I have no idea why. Let me be clear, I hadn't even been posting regularly at all. And then suddenly, look at this spike. And my next payment that next month was $399.18. That made me feel a little more encouraged, and I started posting videos almost weekly again. I actually got paid the next month $372.65. And the next one I was paid again, but it was just $169.20 despite my weekly posts. And then that strange spike from a couple months ago completely wore off its magic, apparently, because I haven't been paid since, and it's been 2 months. So I didn't meet their $100 threshold. Then, all of a sudden, those algorithm gods smiled on me again. But this time it was a different video. It was my review of my recent Odyssey of the Seas cruise. Keep in mind that this is not Royal Caribbean's newest ship, and there are tons of other reviews out there about this ship. And I posted an earlier ship review that didn't nearly take off at all. To this day, that less successful one has a whopping 2,000 plus views, and it's about 3 months old. But compare that to this one that is only a couple weeks old and is at over 50,000 views. Wow, right? There's really no logic to any of this at this point. But again, I should point out that even this more recent successful video pales in comparison to what that other big one did. That one had more than 75,000 views within a couple days, and this one has over 50,000 views after a couple weeks. Hey, beggars can't be choosers, so I'm perfectly happy. Now let's talk money again, because I know that's why you're here, right? With this new spike I'm experiencing, it looks like my next payment from YouTube will be about $436.92, which I'm absolutely thrilled about. But I haven't gotten the money yet, so it's just an estimate that they give me. But it's definitely not the kind of money you see other YouTubers boasting about. And based on what you've seen in this video, you are probably figuring out that my paycheck from YouTube is going to experience a huge drop after that interest in that video winds down. In fact, you can see that the video I posted the week following that popular one is right back at my normal, unimpressive number of views. So, drumroll please. For over a year of work, YouTube has paid out to me exactly $1,394.36. With that money from the recent spike that hasn't been paid to me yet, I'll probably wind up my full year of being monetized with just under $2,000 in my pocket. Well, before Uncle Sam takes their chunk of it. And while I'm hopeful that my channel continues to grow, let's face it, it really might not. There's a lot of competition out there. And I'm okay with that too. But I really wanted to make this for all of you wonderful people who have reached out in the comments saying that you want to be a YouTuber too, so that you can be realistic in your expectations of how much money smaller channels like mine make. If you think this was helpful at all for you, please post a comment below so that I'll know you want me to do a follow-up sometime. And please hit that subscribe button. Next week I'll be posting a very important cruising video, and maybe it will be the next one that is a huge hit. Who knows? But in the meantime, thank you so much for subscribing, for commenting, and for making this channel such a wonderful, positive community. I'm so grateful for you.